All right, let's check in on the Blazers Summer League activity in Las Vegas as we bring in one of their outstanding assistant coaches. He kind of seemed to be the guy that was doing most of the head coaching the first couple of games. I know that's on a rotation basis, but here he is, our friend Dale Osbourne. Coach O, talk to us about the first couple of games. What have you seen? Obviously, you probably would have loved to win both games, but we know that Summer League is also about developing players. What have you seen that you like, and what would you like to improve on as you get ready for another game tomorrow against Utah?
Well, Will, you're exactly right. Obviously, you want to win games, but the bigger focus for us is we know our young guys have worked all year long. We want to reward them with a lot of playing time. It's about them in this Summer League. And they played well. I think Noah Vonleh has really been consistent. I think he's averaging 15 points, 11 rebounds in 2 games in about 30 minutes. And he's played really well. The last game he had 16 and 12 on 7 of 10 shooting. Turned the ball over a few times, and he knows he has to do better with that. Pat Connaughton has really struggled to shoot the basketball, but I thought his defense and his leadership has been well. I think Jake Layton is going to be a really good player for us. He's still trying to figure it out. In all fairness to him, we try to get him as many minutes at the 3 and 2 as possible. Toward the end of the game, we want all our guys out there, and we put him at the 4, and he's playing really well. And Luis Montero, it's a learning process for him. He's only been playing basketball for 2.5 years. Some days, some nights, some possessions he looked good, and some possessions he struggled. But we try to look at the bigger picture, Wheels, of whether guys play well or whether they struggle. We have film session after each game, and we tell guys what they need to improve on and what they need to get better at.
Dale, Kerry Eggers here. Good to talk to you. How are you?
Pretty good, Kerry. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, Wheels, I got to tell you, Dale is one of the nicest guys, and I've been around a long time.
No question.
Among the assistant coaches, and he's sure been fun for me to get to know. Dale, when you're talking about Jake Layman, you guys made some real took an extra lengths to get him in the second round to buy the pick. What is it that you like about him, and what kind of things do you project from him as a player?
Well, first of all, I think he's very coachable, and that goes a long way, Kerry. He just keeps his mouth shut, and he just listens. He wants to get better. As far as the basketball standpoint, obviously he's a really good shooter. He had great size. He had probably one of the most exciting plays in the Summer League when he got a steal and dunked over somebody for a three-point play. But he just wants to get better. Since he's been here, he's just, he's on time to do things. He wants to watch film. He's early. He works hard in practice. He stays after. So I think that goes along with, especially with coaches, that he knows who he is. He doesn't try to do more than what he's capable of yet. We want him to improve in certain areas. But he's just going to be a solid player.
Another one of the new Trailblazers that you've been able to spend a little time with. He joined the Summer League squad late, but Shabazz Napier talked to us. It was unfortunately his day was cut short yesterday with the accidental knee to the back of his head from his own teammate, Cliff Alexander. So how is he feeling? He didn't return to the game yesterday. Is he feeling better today, and will we see him tomorrow?
I think he's feeling a lot better. I seen him after the game. I think he has a couple of staples in his head. He got up and worked out this morning, so still a question mark whether he's going to play tomorrow or not. I just leave that stuff up to our training staff. He's another guy that we're excited about. Obviously, he's been in the league 2 or 3 years, but he knows who he is, Terry and Wills. He's a guy that can pick you up full court. He can change the game with his defense. He's really a good crisp pass. He's an on-time, on-target passer, and he just knows who he is. He's a great leader on the floor. He has a great pace. I think he's going to be a really good, solid player for us also.
You mentioned, Dale, that Noah Vonleh has put up good numbers so far. What do you see from him? What kind of improvement have you seen from him so far, and what are your expectations for him for next season?
Well, I think a lot of people have to remember about Noah. He's 20 years old, and he should be going to a senior in Indiana. He's a hard worker. He's one of the hardest workers on our team. He works in the summertime. He works out in the morning. Then he plays in the afternoon, and then he comes back at night. He's a really good shooter. We want him to become more consistent with his shot. But so far, he shot the ball well here. He's got good skills with as far as attacking the basket, and he's rebounded the basketball really well. And he's also a great kid. I think management has done a great job of building the culture around here. Great people, obviously, led by Damian, but he's a great kid that just fits in with our group. He's very coachable, and he's going to do what we ask him to do. And I think he's going to be a really good player. But we also got to remember he's 20 years old, and this is also a process for him also.
Coach, you mentioned what management has been able to do. What do you think of the off-season maneuverings that have happened here in the last couple of weeks with the new additions, Evan Turner and Festus Ezeli, and then the retention of a couple of guys that I know you've worked with since their time began in Portland? That would be Alan Crabb and Myers Leonard.
Right. Well, I think you got to give management credit again. Neil knows the kind of culture he wants with our team. Obviously, those guys that we signed and bringing back are really good basketball players, but also they're great people. Evan Turner's a great guy. Ezeli's a great guy, and they fit in with our team. And culture about good people is very important to us. So I think they're going to help us. I know they're going to help us, and we're just excited about having them here.
Dale, how much have you got to watch the other games down in Vegas?
I had a chance to watch, obviously, the Spurs because we played them. I had a chance to watch the Lakers and Philadelphia with their number 1 and number 2 picks. So
talk about Simmons. What do you think about him as a player?
I think he's really skilled. I think he's going to be a really good basketball player. I think he struggled the first game. I didn't see that game. People said he had 6 points. But I think he bounced back the next night with 18 points. But he's 6'9". He's left-handed. He can really pass the ball.
Yeah.
I mean, his passes are on time, on target. Very skilled. I know he has to work on his outside shot. And it's the same thing with Brandon Ingram. I know he's got to work on his strength, but he's also very skilled. And I think people just have to remember this is a process for all these guys coming into the NBA. It just doesn't happen overnight.
Coach, lastly, we've been talking a little bit about the big NBA news of the day. Tim Duncan retiring after 19 very, very productive seasons. Obviously going to be a future Hall of Famer. Give us your thoughts on what how you evaluate his tenure in the NBA. Obviously a very successful one.
Well, as a fan, you're sad to see him go, but you're happy that he's going to start another phase in his life. And everybody, when you look at all the comments that are being said about him, he's obviously one of the greatest players ever played in this game. So he's going to be missed. I think he's a standard. I think he's a standard in the poster child as far as being a great player, but also being a very good professional on and off the court. So he's going to be missed. I'm happy for him. But it's a sad day because we're not going to see that greatness on the floor night in and night.
Coach, thanks so much for the time tonight, and we'll look forward to the game tomorrow against Utah and then tournament play beginning after that. We'll see you when you get back to town, and good luck the rest of the way in Vegas, and we'll see you back here in town very shortly.
Thanks for having me.